So this is just a recap for live stream 120, I believe. And in this recap, we can see our old habits sneak back in. So we've kind of left the door open to the old habits getting back into our trading, which is not good. I was able to rescue the day somewhat. I was able to rescue the day and take some significant trades at the end of the day that actually worked itself out, which is good. So let's just look into it. So due to our scheduling, due to our job, we could only get to the market around about, it's close, it's more like 11:50 Eastern Standard Time. It's around 11:50 to about 12 Eastern Standard Time. So what we did was we placed orders at the levels that we were interested in, because the trades didn't hit the targets. Let's have a look at the trades. These won't be in chronological order. So, because I took far too many trades. So let's have a look at it. So we had a trade set up around this level here. We should have targeted this green level marked out. You can see this on the live stream. So we got in, we got out early because prices were pulling back. As you can see on this candle with the wick, got out. Price eventually went on to hit the target at the 0950s. So I was very frustrated right there as I got out and price got to the target. What I did was I wanted to see prices pull back to the 76.50 to get back in, but prices just simply would not do that. Prices continued higher. Out of FOMO and frustration, I eventually just got back in thinking, well, I just need to get those 20 points that I did not take because I've exited as prices pull back to the 90. I got in, had to suffer through a great amount of anxiety. I did not feel good at all, and eventually I did pick up those 20 points. I picked up 21,250, but it was about 20 points I was targeting there. So after that, prices pulled back. I thought it would be a pullback signal because this was a primary signal hitting the target. Thought it would be a pullback signal, so I got in. I didn't like the price action, so I actually got out for a loss. I got out for a loss of 42, I believe. Should we say 42? Yep, lost 42 there. There wasn't anything telling me to get out. There wasn't anything telling me to get out at 42. But I didn't like the price action where prices were going across multiple instruments I was in. So I eventually got out of the position, got in, sort of this bearishness. Eventually the stop was down here at 66. So as we can see, the stop would have been hit. So getting out early, following my instincts, was the correct decision in this instance. We then went short on prices pulling back. So before we would have hit my stop, I went short on prices pulling back here. Got in a bit late. Target was hit down here. Picked up 51. Again, prices came up, looked a bit bearish. At this time, I was actually in long on ES and NQ, not ES and NQ, ES and YM. I decided to take the short because the short worked, this previous short worked, and I decided to take another short, and I eventually hit target. That was part of the reason why I was able to recover up to 168.360. So those were the trades here on NQ. I took a trade on, probably recap the gold trade. So on gold, we got a third signal. So the primary signal would have worked, the secondary signal would have worked. I got a third signal. Third signals longer beyond the second signal. The signals tend to be a bit sketchy, let's put it that way. So the target was here up at the 66.6. So went long. Price came within a dollar or so. Well, within less than a dollar, to be honest. It went up to 65.8. We're looking for a 66.6. So price went in my favor. I was a little frustrated. Thought price would eventually get up there. It did not. When I was in the positions that weren't working for me on NQ, ES, and I believe it was YM at the time, I decided to get out of the position as prices were coming back. As you can see, we eventually did not get up to the 66.6. So, of course, in hindsight, it looks okay. Of course, we could have got out now as the markets are about to close around about a similar level. But I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't get to 66.6. But again, it is the third signals. We're looking late on, just after 1:20 Eastern Standard Time. So just have to bear that in mind, that the volatility tends to fall off here on gold. We'll look at ES. On ES was difficult. So again, we came to the market a bit late, and ES was somewhat frustrating. The setup was around the 307.25. Price came down to 308.25, I believe. Around about, no, 308. Maybe 308, 308.25. It's about 3 or 4 ticks from my target. Price pulled back, went all the way into the 20s. I was incredibly frustrated. Kept my order where it was. Price pulled back again. Came within a couple of ticks, all the way down at the 09 level. Eventually went on to hit the 33 that I was looking for. To my frustration, within a couple of ticks of being triggered in to go to the upside. On NQ, we actually got triggered for the long. But on ES, we did not. Had greater relative strength today. So, some frustration there. On ES, I took the pullback signal that came around about the same time as NQ. And I exited it early, similar to NQ, because I didn't like what I was seeing in terms of the price action on the market. So what did we lose there? We lost 22.5 there. Over on, I went short similarly to what I've done on NQ. And with that one, we had this strong bullish candle. Seemed like we hit a wall of buyers around these previous highs acting as support. So previous resistance acting as support. So all the buyers come in, exited there. Off that short, lost 16.25, flipped the position long. And so I flipped that position long, thinking it would continue higher off there. So price action wasn't favorable. So I was actually in a long on ES. And because of the NQ being weak, I took a short over here, and that actually worked itself out. I was actually long in NQ, didn't like the price action again, so exited. Small loss, 9.375. Then eventually flipped the position short in alignment with the NQ that seemed to be leading. And we eventually got our target down there, and we picked up 38,750 coupled with that 67 over here, contributed a large part towards this overall P&L of 68,360. Now, one of the most frustrating aspects of the day, and we need to wrap up this video, I don't want to make it too long, RTY and YM. So on RTY, we were in long where we should have been, where the actual setup was. Prices pulled back. I didn't like the price action. We had a stop down here at 68.1. I eventually decided to take the position off. There was no reason to take it off, but it's just one of those things where sometimes my instincts work well, sometimes my instincts cost me. So realized a loss here of 17.5. As you can see, price didn't hit my stop, would have went on to hit the target, would have been in the position for a very long time, pretty much most of the day. So I would have been in over here, and eventually I wasn't hit. The target wasn't hit until about 40 minutes to close. So would have been in there a long time, but realized the loss I didn't need to. Similarly on YM, I exited the position again early, and it was pretty much this consolidation price action. Prices started to threaten to go lower, and it threatened to go lower. I thought I'd exit the position, lost 15 there. As we can see, price eventually hit the target up at 630. So not long after I exited, prices turned to the upside, lost 15 there. So it's just one of those things. I didn't like the consolidation. Thought prices were about to roll over. Prices turned around. Similar thing on YM, turned around. On YM also, I took a, I took a short here, and that was similar to the short that worked itself out over here on NQ. But YM had strength similar to ES. Eventually this large candle, again, thought prices were being bought off the previous resistance acting support. Got out of the position for a loss, minus 10, fairly small loss. Went long similar to ES, so that's where I was in ES and YM long and short on NQ. Eventually got out of that for a loss, fairly small loss again. similar to what happened on the ES trade, and went short along with alignment with NQ, along with ES, and made a small gain, somewhat, but it does contribute to the overall end of day P&L, and we picked up 24 there. So video is a bit longer than I'd like, but I traded far too much, over traded on my part. I'll readily admit that, over traded, went against my plan. So this is the trade performance tab. About to wrap up the video here. As we can see, we went into the negative 33, went positive. This is not the kind of P&L I like to see. I like it to be a lot smoother. So we picked up 95, pulled back, picked up a fairly significant amount here, up at 86, pulled back again, and eventually we're going to end the day up at 168,360. As we can see, these are the exit times. Let's look at the entry times. On the entry times, we can see entry times. We've got one at 319, and we started trading pretty much because of our scheduling issues with primarily our job. We didn't start trading till about 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So first trade's taken about 12 p.m. because we weren't here. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. Good luck trading and have a great day.